My beautiful yet stressed out Virgos. To save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I'm using a Celtic 10 card spread that allows me to look at past, present, and future influences for the week. And as always, I'll be teaching the tarot through each card so you not only receive your message, but you start to build your own intuitive relationship with the cards. Because that's what this channel is all about, using tarot for our betterment and our benefit. And your benefit this week is about untangling the mindset, untangling the heart and the spirit. Stop fighting. Get that anxiety down to a level where you can feel like you can get your footing. And this is a real week of let go, let God, because you have been trying to struggle and within yourself this is, because these two cards in the first card placement is a significator, the hangman. It's a major arcana card. And the significator placement is the general gist of the overall reading. And when this guy appears, it means that we need to take a pause, a voluntary sacrifice to step back and allow God to get in there. And the real added benefit of the hangman, especially in this reading, is a different perspective that you need to apply to your life. There's a change that has been taking place for a while now. I needed you to shift, and you've been starting to, but this reading suggests that now you've just kind of tripped yourself up, got yourself in a tangled mess, and just are sitting stagnant. And God wants you to reverse that kind of thinking into, okay, it's a reflective pause now. I need you to regroup so you can refresh. It's not a judgment stage. It's a more of a point for you to kind of look around saying, how can I get that different viewpoint? What can I apply to my situation right now to have for my betterment and move forward? That's been the kind of overarching question for you for a while now, Virgo. And God's kind of really just slapping you in the head and saying, what do you really want to do here? Let me get in there for a while. You go step back and figure that out, because ambition, achievement, and that can fall anywhere for Virgo, from family relationship as well as work, your body, your outside persona to the outside world. It's all kind of in a little cup for you to be able to look at and to say, what needs to change within this? What needs to change in my viewpoint, the way that I'm looking at people in situations that needs a radical shift, and maybe just a completely 180, right? And that's the hangman's message here. That new day is dawning. You know it as well. You know it's taking place, but you're trying to rush it. You not only have an antsy-pantsy, but you kind of have a feeling of pushing the rock up the hill and it's falling back on you. And you push it back up again and it's falling back on you. And we get overwhelmed and anxiety-driven. And then our mind, especially for Virgo, which you rule that intellect area and thought, it's all going to get like tangled up. That's just human nature. And that's why the hangman comes in there. It's like God in the universe saying, okay, Virgo, step aside. We got it, okay? I need you to just catch your breath and do a refresh, because you need to get connected back to God in the universe to find out what that purpose is of that change. And there's a pressing kind of nature on you as well. You know that change has been happening for a while. You know you're going on the upswing, but you know, you're not feeling it completely, you're not believing it, and maybe even in some cases, I'll say this, maybe even sabotaging it, okay? Because the way I say, the reason why I say that in that second card placement is the crossing card, what's in conflict with the hangman, and not allowing you to completely relax or hand over to God in the universe to take the reins right now while you kind of get a regroup, right? And the Wheel of Fortune is the wheel of time. And when it appears to me, it's always on the upswing, right? We feel like we're changing in the better way after a really, really tough time. But because it's in the crossing the crossing sign, that Wheel of Fortune, I'm afraid you're looking at it or have things happening that you're looking at, it's not a progressively way forward, even if it's really super difficult. And I think that's where that conflict, that friction is coming in between these two major arcanas. So we have two life lessons kind of batting up against each other. One means hold still, wait a second, and the other one means let's move. So again, it's kind of like tectonic plates within you. You're just kind of like trying to figure out how to do that. And I just need you to get back to heart and spirit. That's the answer this way. So that's the way that we could come to clear decision making for ourselves with heart and intellect as well. I feel like intellect has been too much of a play here for a while, and it's not working, and we need to get spirit and heart in there. And more importantly, God's got a message for you, so I need you to kind of get into a meditative state to relax a little bit so you can receive that message. And that message is going to be love, because in the third card placement, the top of the matter in the 10 card spread, I like to say God's message on how to navigate the week. We have this wonderful woman of the royal suit, the regal Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the queen of our heart, love, feeling, emotional flow, our intuition, psychic ability, even our dream world state is falling under the domain of the cups. And this gal is cool. She's unconditional and loving, but she's also tough love. Do not mess with her. Again, it's a balance of living in the material world with the aspects and situations that we all have to encounter in the journey of the heart, right? But it's all about keeping spirit. See how she sits in that rich landscape of the material, right? But her feet are in that water. And that's a sign in tarot for emotional flow. Again, allowing our heart to be vulnerable and open. And maybe that's part of this right now. You're fighting all that to allow the queen to come to the forefront. And if you're digging into the queen, there's your answer, okay? It's all about heart. And the first question the queen wants to ask, what do you really truly want to do with your heart, Virgo? And let's start to design that in our head so God gets an insight into it and the wheel could turn in our favor, right? Even if you're keeping things close to your chest right now, that's a reflection here as well. And you're not really fully decided and not exactly know where you need to put your footing. And I'll also say, if you've been dealing with deceptive people that have outright been shady McGady to you, don't worry about that. Leave that kind of revenge or that outlook of anger or rage, or even allowing your ego and pride to get in there, to not be fluttered, right? Okay, because it's all about God's hands, all right? Leave that to God and the universe to take care of. This is all about you getting your good karma to move forward in a new direction, right? Because everything you did, even getting tangled into a little stressful state here, was all done with good intentions. And God wants to come in there and give you some light, give you some rest, and give you some direction. And that's validated here in the 4th card position, the base of the matter in the 10 card spread. I like to say the gut feeling, and the Magician. So we've got 3 major arcana cards here. And what's so special about the Magician, he's the number 1 card. He equips the 0 card, the Fool. As the Fool comes out of that cave of enlightenment, of emotional, material, and spiritual maturity, he's kind of like going dancing through. He's got a little naivety, a vulnerability about him, but that's where that excitement and adventure starts to stir. And the Magician says, hey, I'm going to equip you with the intelligence of the swords, the imagination of the wands, the heart of the cups, and the ability to make abundance of the pentacle. You're the alchemist here. It's putting all those divine things together. And see that river flowing in the background, coming out of that desert landscape. We're allowing ourselves to flow, especially for Virgo. You're the Virgin Maiden of the Zodiac. So you rule not only the intellect, but also the emotion. So it's a duality that's always in conflict within you, and how to get your balance. And this week really starts to let you have insight on what makes you happy and what doesn't, okay? And stop going after the things or doing the things that don't make you happy, because that's been a push for a while here as well. And the Magician in the major arcana card as well has an aspect of secrets. That's what I was saying. If you have people that were shady to you or deceptive, or you're feeling like you need to be shady in response, no. Okay, if you're keeping secrets to yourself, like as in like a kind of strategy kind of way, or analytical thinking of what next steps are, that's your guy, right? He'll keep you kind of safe, as well as throw a smoke screen off to other people that are trying to undermine you. But let's not play in the negative side of the Magician at all, because that's not our domain. And what's really exciting here is not only these 3 major arcana cards that are indicator that you need that rest. Don't worry, the accomplishment will come. Don't get the antsy pantsies. Don't feel like you have to control everything, because there's a spiritual and divine order to everything as well. And I'll say this too, life lessons can be tough when these kinds of cards appear, right? And it's about keeping a positive and not a negative perspective, an outlook that's one based in abundance and not poverty. Remember, you're an earth sign, so you're going to feel it and again, with the emotional flow of the Virgin Maiden, so you're going to feel it in the water, the emotion, and you're going to feel it in the material of that earth sign. So again, you're probably getting the whole kit and caboodle. That's what the reading says at you, but there's a reason why this is happening. That's why God wants you to give that reprieve, to stand yourself up from a higher perspective and say, okay, what am I supposed to learn here? And it's all about your betterment. And you're a firecracker coming in out of the past. That 5th card placement is what's leaving our life. And the Ace of Wands, it's the upsurge of energy in the area of the creative. That's the domain of the wands. Imagination, inspiration get ignited here, and they start to take a material reality. And you believed in your props. You believe you're the hottie tamale, right? You've overcome the mountaintops. You've gotten that higher perspective, a higher consciousness as well, which is really so groovy magoovy. And there's a karmic reward for that. And that's probably why God's saying, slow down here, Virgo. I've got some surprises for you, but you're trying to, you're trying to drive everything and you don't know the plan. And that's a great energy when we want to put ourselves forth. And again, that hottie tamale way in the society, or even just our ideas, it starts to take a kind of base of a material reality that we can start to see we can build upon. But that building upon is you. It's great for advertising, marketing, promotion. That's the domain of the creative, right? And anything that you want to apply in your energy of the creative, it means you could do it. And part of this journey for you has been about your own identity and how you want to love, life, work, just exist in society. This has all been asking you, how do you want to do this, Virgo, that's designed around you? And we get real indication of that fire that's starting to ignite in you. And maybe that is also placement of the 6th card, that kind of stoking of that bonfire that allowed you to start to feel your own identity. That's the 5th, 5 of Swords here. And the 6th card placement is what's happening right now. 5 is good luck in numerology and tarot, but there's always a conflict or to get over in the journey to the 5 to get the good luck. And in the Swords, it's our thoughts, our intelligence, our intellect, our the way that we want to apply that we want to express it. To the ancient tarot, dig really deep in that. It took it to your identity, the way you want to live and way you don't want to live. And it comes up against that, again, that friction of society, families, friends. Everyone's got an opinion on how you should do your life in the journey of the Swords. But it's all meant to get you to decide, what do you want? And in the 5, to me, all you have to do is stand up. See those mountaintop? You've already accomplished all that. You're on the flat ground, a solid, firm foundation to build something new upon. That stormy sky is leaving you. Here comes the sun. God, justice, fairness, and saying, I'm sorry, Virgo, I had to mess with you, but I had to mess with you or you never would have known yourself. And I'm going to give you your swords back. And let's go see what you want to do for your identity. So out of this pause state, combine your ambition, and whether that's for heart or work or your own ambition for your own health and so on, all the above as well. Whatever your wish list is, give it to God in the universe and say this, and this is my intention, and I will definitely walk towards that when that door opens, because there's doors going to be opening, and I imagine that they've already opened, and maybe you've even slammed a few. That would be an indication of the Wheel of Fortune, like you're not believing that the wheel is turning in your favor. So let's make sure that we're looking at anything where we're not feeling like we're being frustrated by what we're blocking our own progress, or progress isn't moving fast enough. Again, it's going to be on God's time, not yours, right? That would be a reflection of the Hangman. We get that antsy pansies. And I think this is the reason why, too. And so we're coming out of that 5 of Swords. So go get your good luck, Virgo. You deserve it. You rule that domain of the thoughts to me. So you, again, this is a reflection that you've done that hard work for your own identity and understanding that. So don't trip yourself up in any way. Let's stand up and move forward, okay? And here, why I think this kind of like scattered energy of feeling like you can't grab everything together, and pull it together to make a kind of decision. And that's why God is giving you that reprieve. And the 7th card placement is the way we're feeling about ourselves. So it's a direct extension of the 1st card placement of the significator, right? And so we have another 5 of Wands here, another good luck in the area of the creative again, right? In the journey that we're getting through to the 10 in the minor arcana, right? That's 10 numbers in the suit. The 5 asks us to look at things around us so that we can make sure that we're not getting distracted by things that make us insecure, fearful, or anxiety. And I guarantee that's been part of the high level of thing of getting to the Hangman too. The more we try to control the Hangman, the tighter the bonds get on our feet, right? The more we're looser and letting God go with it, and then voluntary sacrifice and taking that different perspective by hanging upside down, right? And trusting that new day is dawning. That's the insight. And the 5 gets us more insight in the Wands. It's in the Rider-Waite deck, you'll see like 5 people coming together, all with wands and all rushing at each other. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everyone has a different perspective, and it's all ego, pride stuff. And it translates to us getting distracted or engaged or having to justify the stupidest points of views. And again, that might be stirred up again out of that identity. Maybe it's plaguing in your head of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But the 5 asks you to harness or corral like wild cats. It's never easy. Just take your time, relax. That's why the Hangman is there, trusting God and universe, and slowly just bring all your wands together for you, because at the end of the day, they're your wands. And I'll also say this, if for those of you that are in business or even family stuff or anything, we have to take a different perspective. It's all about being able to corral all those wands together because we're understanding other people's point of view. We're not allowing our ego and pride to get engaged. Even if people might be emotionally or spiritually immature, they don't know how to have a certain love language or even a conversation without getting upset or anxiety or trying to say mean things. That would be all about the Five of Wands. And it's meant for you to get over that kind of distraction in the mindset. We're the only ones that can control our thoughts. So let's not go backwards in that identity that we've earned. And God is kind of giving you a little test and saying, are you really believing in yourself? Trust yourself, okay? That's how we get over those insecurities, anxieties, and fears, because that kind of thinking stirs up all that kind of trouble, right? So that's what's happening within yourself. You're just feeling a little scattered, like pickup sticks. Just take your time. Pick them up, put them where in the right prioritize, be practical and pragmatic about it, right? Because that's the Virgo domain as well. And all of a sudden your five wands are all together. And if you're going to build something big, you've got to build it with other people too sometimes, right? So that's the reflection of the five. So good job here. Just take your time to do that. Don't get scattered. The minute that you feel yourself that way, that's not the let go, let God that needs to happen. Get into that still meditative state because it's an answer instead of the anxiety. All right. And in the eighth card position is how other people look at you. So this is really interesting. Eight is a refresh, rejuvenation in the area, again, of the heart, right? Love, emotional flow. We're coming out of that dark time of the moon. That's a representation there. But see, all your cups, they're all in a row. And this is how other people look at you. People look at you as ready to take a new journey for the heart, right? And the thing about the eight is we don't know exactly where we're going, but I know I need to get out of the stagnation or the rut that I am there, right? That's why the eight appears in all the minor suits. It's to give us that refresh, even kind of like a backwind from God in the universe saying, come on, little, come on, Virgo, let's go, let's go. But it's more about your contemplative state. So wherever you need to use that for your betterment or understanding or insight, that the eight says you're moving on in new directions. I'll say this too, because that's what this reading is, or readings have been over the last few months, is about moving in a new direction. So I don't mean to sound disrespectful, Virgo, but let's get with the plot. So whatever that is, why they're looking at you, apply it to that introspective insight that you need to apply in the Hangman, okay? And I think part of it too is you just are antsy pantsies to get to achievement, whether that's relationship, family stuff, whatever that is, or career, your own body, whatever you're kind of putting in your mindset as that earth sign. And I'm one as well that says that is your achievement goal. That's the Chariot. It's in our hopes and fears position, the ninth card position. So it's, again, that duality. We really want it, but we're scared of it. We really want to go forward, but do I really want to go forward? I'm kind of hesitant. And that's probably why the Hangman is coming in and the Wheel of Fortune to reassure you on the upturn again. And this would just affirm that message as well. So don't be afraid of your own ambition, but just make sure that it's aimed in the right place. Like, let's not say that your accomplishments are achieved by somebody else or through a job title. Make sure you're not staying in a stagnant place that no longer serves you spiritually, right? And mentally even, but only materially, or even that outside persona. You know what I mean? A Virgo as an earth sign, we could have lots of different things that kind of make us feel really groovy magoovy and that we've gotten accomplished. So that's the Chariot. It also is a reflection, especially for the Five of Wands, where we can feel scattery. The Chariot in the reverse, or the not negative, but non-positive direction. We can feel like we're being pulled in a lot of different ways, right? The white of using our logic, the black of using our intuition. I'm trying to find that balance in my decision making and movement forward. I'm feeling like really rushy as well, like someone's pushing me along, and that's the Chariot, like obligations, responsibilities, even potentials and opportunities could feel like they're all over the place, right? And you're trying to reach for that one, and maybe some things aren't working, but that's God's plan. And that's probably why the Hangman is getting in there. You're just like all over the place. And I mean that with respect and love. And I say that with respect and love because been there, done that. All our signs have got to go through this. So get that balance again, okay? It's also too, like we can feel like there's like that tough stuff that we are encountered before the Hangman and during the Wheel of Fortune life lessons. We can feel like that stuff is coming. That's those storm clouds in the past. It's our dust stirring up, trying to get away from all that. And it means that you're accomplishing in that, but you just got to get into balance. You can't be pulled in the negative or the positive, right? We've got to be in perfect harmony to move forward. And that's probably a reflection as well in the Hangman. So take a look at that this week, okay, Virgo? And here, Believe in yourself. Okay, in the 10th card outcome, and this is why I also feel like things are just like, the Eight of Swords, again, another reflection of refresh, rejuvenation, a new start, but this time it's in our thoughts. And it doesn't feel like that at all in the journey of the swords. It feels like, to me, it's like the gerbil wheel of hell. We're going around and around and around. I feel powerless. I'm getting negative. I'm getting anxiety. I'm getting fearless. I'm getting doubtful. I can't make a decision. I'm driving myself crazy because it's our own thoughts that we control. And the ironic part is there's God and justice, just like in that Five of Swords, standing there saying, okay, Virgo, are you going to untangle yourself? Are you going to get off that kind of wheel to move in a new direction? Are you going to allow the furies of negativity to plague you? Because they can't anymore, because you have all your swords in the ground. And in a lot of texts too, that representation of the swords in the ground is moist soil. So there's been emotional upheaval as well as the material, right? And that's what you're trying to balance out, and probably why you're feeling being pulled in a variety of directions. And you're you can't get your mind settled or your heart settled. You're getting engaged in the wrong ways, getting distracted instead of for the core values of what you need to be applied to here. That's why God is stepping in with that Hangman. I guarantee it. So again, take that time to get the refresh. Don't believe that see those storm clouds are leaving. The same with the moon. We're coming out of that shadowland. The only one that can control our thoughts is ourselves. So we've got to make sure that they're on the positive and productive side, not negativity and undermining our own authority. And I'm sticking with it right here, because in the bonus card, we got the Queen of Swords. So she's great for legalities, contracts, business endeavors, anywhere we need an emotional distance in those that material realm, right? She's great. She's, she could come to that clear decision making and not be clouded by anything. She has that higher perspective of, accomplishment of those mountaintops in the background. She's 6 on solid ground. She trusts her authority, right? But 9 times out of 10, when she appears for me, we're being hard on ourselves. We're taking that double-edged sword. I'm aiming at my head, my heart. See how she's pouring away emotion there? I don't want emotion here. And that's a killer for a Virgo. And it's probably why God is stepping in and saying, no, we're going to get you in balance again. So wherever she's kind of sitting on your shoulder going, you're not good enough. You're not this. You're not that. Or they're not this. Or they're that. They're not. Settle it down. Okay? Kick her to the curb. Get back to God and the universe, because they're in control here now. Let's not be undermined, our own authority, our own thinking, our own heart, by just kind of the negative thinking that all of us, it plagues us when we're in a stir up, in a chaotic situation. But I say this with love and respect. Part of this reason is because you've been fighting it to make the changes that you've needed to make. And God's now going to step in. Okay? So let's not do anything to hinder that progress. And more importantly, take that breath for yourself. You really deserve it, and it's really most welcome. And that's where your answers are. Okay? So thank you, Virgo. Thank you for visiting the channel, and thank you for watching. I so appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that has subscribed too. I just have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, if you like the content, if you would consider doing so, I guess everyone's telling me that's how you get to the YouTube algorithm. So I'm following their advice. So thank you, that as well. And have a good one, you guys. You got this.